We have Web Explorer joined. Welcome, and if you don't mind just popping your name in the chat box, Web Explorer, please, so we know who we've got here. And please, if you have some questions, anyone, any challenges at the moment this week? Hey, James and Hayley, how you doing? Good to have you on. And I was just explaining how we had technical issues last month with the Google Hangout, and I've been rushing around today, and I thought I just can't risk that happening again. Still haven't fully worked out how to invite everyone into the Hangout. So if someone has done Hangouts before, you know, let's get together and figure it out, because Blab is working really well when I've been doing the conversations with people. I had a great Blab last night with Zahir and Wari about trading, but haven't yet really tested it for the Mastermind environment. And it's certainly not my intention to just be talking all night. I want to invite some of you guys in. If you haven't used Blab before, you should be able to see on screen that we have an open seat. And if you click that, then you can join the call, and your face is going to come up as well. And we can have a conversation, and you can let everyone know if there's a challenge at the moment, if there's a piece of advice, if there's maybe, you know, something you want to share with other people that you've discovered this week that's going to really help. And Rajesh has joined. Welcome, Rajesh. Good evening. Great to have you on here. And through the lack of questions, I can only imagine everyone's having a fantastic week, and it's going swimmingly well for everyone. So it'd be great for someone to maybe, you know, let us know if there is something that's just a little sticking point in the business, or if you've got some targets you're looking to hit, maybe by the end of November, or certainly by the end of the year. Maybe there's something we can do. So James and Hayley are saying, what about top audio people have been listening to this week? Cool. Well, James, I've added the, what's the dude? Lewis Howes. Yeah, after your recommendation, I've added him to my podcast list, and I haven't listened to too many, but the ones I've checked out have been really good. I'll tell you what I've currently got on my playlist. I'm really big on Russell Brunson, who is the creator of ClickFunnels, which is similar to Lead Pages. Russell Brunson does a marketing quickies in your car, pretty much daily podcast, about 10 minutes long. It's all about online marketing, and it's just real like nuggets of information, and that is fantastic. And yeah, maybe one of you guys can share what you're listening to at the moment as well. That'd be good. Hey, Calvin, good to have you on here. Welcome. And Rajesh is saying, can we do another success mindset with John Ketley next year? If you're referring to when John came and spoke at our last event 2 weeks ago, yeah, well, what we've created, I think you've seen it, Rajesh, is we've actually put together now a one-day training with John, which is going to take place in London on the 28th of November, which is not this weekend, it's the weekend after. And we've made it small, it's just for Escape the Rat Race members, and it's a business mentoring day. So it's for people who maybe are lacking a little bit of certainty and a bit of clarity about what direction they want to take their business. Maybe they haven't actually yet decided what business opportunity or what business they're going to focus on for building their wealth and creating additional income. So the idea is to come along to this day, and there'll be no more than 10 in the room. We've already got 8 people booked, so there's only a couple of spots remaining for that. And John's going to take you through all the steps. So he's going to ask you, what is winning to you? What does winning mean to you? And that's a crucial question that you need to be clear about. You need to have a picture. What does life look like when you've won? So where are you going to be? What's going to be happening? How much money are you earning? What kind of lifestyle? How do you feel? All these things that you need to take into consideration, you know, because if you haven't got a clear objection, it's like, we used the analogy before, but if you get into a car and you have to go to a new destination that you've never been to before, and you don't have a map and you don't have a sat nav or anything, like, how are you going to get there? You're just going to be winding, taking any road that looks correct, and it's going to take forever, and you might not ever actually make the destination where you want to be. So you've got to have a map, but most people go through life without a roadmap. So it's being clear about that, and then you can start to work backwards, and then you can set smaller goals which are more achievable, and you can see that you're progressing as well. So so the idea is, by the end of the day with John Ketley, everyone's going to be very clear about what winning is for them, and then we're going to work back and say, okay, well, what are the steps that you're going to need to take? And there'll be a whole load of other stuff within that day. So we've got some more questions here. If anyone wants to jump in, the idea that I had was that people can jump in. Hopefully you can all see there's an empty square. And if someone wants to come in and share something quickly, you don't have to stay there for the whole Blab. Just pop in. You can just click the button, and then I'll accept you. You can share what you have or a question, and we can have up to 4 people. So myself and 3 other people here. It would be really cool if someone would like to step up and give that a go, so that, you know, we can test it out. It's not my intention just to speak all night. This is meant to be a short, sharp mastermind with people saying, okay, I need some help with this, or how do I do this? But if you guys want to run with just the questions in the chat box, I'm happy to do so. So let me catch up and see and see what we say. So any recommendations for task management software would be awesome. Okay, so if anyone has got any recommendations for task management software, please shout, please type it in. My personal recommendation is Asana. That's what I've been using recently with my outsourcers. I've just popped it in the chat box for you, asana.com. I've been trying a few different ones. This one I've found good. And if there's we had 3 people. So we had me, my girlfriend, and one outsourcer who was based in the Philippines. And that worked amazingly well, and it didn't cost anything. It was completely free to use Asana. I think maybe when you have more people, it starts to charge you. But I would say check that out if you haven't used it. I know a lot of people are speaking about Basecamp, I think, and Podio. I know Tom Wade, who's a property guy. He does lots of remote flips of lease options. He uses Podio, and he's always talking about how great that is, and he creates some custom apps within that. I'll give you a great tip if you guys haven't heard of this thing. I must admit I haven't used it, but Zapier, it looks like a really cool tool, and this basically creates automations online. So it connects pretty much every online app. So Gmail, Twitter, all your social medias, and you can create rules. So you can say, every time someone tweets with this hashtag, I want you to put it into a spreadsheet, which saves it in my Google Drive, and maybe then sends a tweet out to those people, and it just automates everything. And there's another one like that, which is called If This Then That, ITTT.com, I think it is. Double check that. Hey Darren, how you doing? Dubsticab, like the name. Yeah, so check those ones out. So don't want to miss any questions. Let me just see what else we've got here. Okay, okay. Calvin saying, I'm currently look to start in the stock market. I'm doing an online course, but I would like to be pointed in the right direction from someone who is experienced. Okay, so you want to start in the stock market. So I presume that's online trading, Calvin. And I trade myself, and actually my mentor who taught me, we actually did a Blab last night. And if you go to the profile page of Escape the Rat Race here, you're going to see the replay from last night. And we ended up speaking for an hour and a half about trading. So I would definitely say check that out when you've got a spare hour and a half. It's very honest. There's no BS. We're not hyping anything. We're telling you how it is from our own personal experiences, how much you can expect to invest, how long it will take, to start to see returns, and how much time it will take. We talked about all of that. So, check that out. And if you've got any questions after that, message me. And if you haven't already connected on Facebook or through Escape the Rat Race on Facebook or Twitter, if you guys want to connect and you use Twitter, then that's the handle @RatRaceFast. So just join and message me there if you've got some extra questions. So I hope that helps, Calvin. If you've got any additional questions in relation to that, let me know. It'd be cool to know what online course you're doing as well. Just interested to see what strategies that they're teaching. Gareth, you've asked, what are people's thoughts on focus and juggling multiple projects versus focusing all energy on one? A big question, but an excellent question. I'd love some interaction, you guys, from helping each other and maybe someone even jumping in on the call. You should all be able to click the button if you want to jump in and just we can talk. And hey, Gareth, there we go. Let's just wait for Gareth, giving you some props already for being the first. Looks like it's, hey, Gareth.
Hi, I have a fuzzy picture.
Don't worry. Thank you very much for stepping up.
No worries. Well, this is the first session I've joined, and thanks very much for inviting us along.
You're welcome. Is this the first time you used Blab?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Once you get the hang of it and you've logged in for the first time, it's really cool. It's a good way to have a conversation and for others to interact. And we're trying it out for the mastermind tonight. We'll see how it goes. And so you had a question there, Gareth, about focus. So maybe you wanna repeat that for everyone.
Yeah. Let me elaborate on it a little bit. So I work part-time as a medical professional, and the other half of the week I'm working on entrepreneurial ventures. So I'm basically working on two at the same time, and that was never my intention. I'm working on a healthcare technology project and also a luxury travel business.
Okay.
And the luxury travel business is it was like a fun idea that came out of a conversation with a friend, and we started running with it and exploring it. And it just it had legs of its own. It had a life of its own, and it just kept going. So I ended up jumping full steam ahead into that, and it's great, and it's going well. But now I've got two businesses on my hands, and I'm also writing a book. And I think I'm managing quite well, juggling between them. And there's various reasons for that. One of them is because the healthcare technology project I know is going to be a very long burn. It's going to take a long time before that generates any revenue. It's more for me about the project and achieving something in that space than it is about generating personal income.
Okay.
But I know it's going to be a long burn because of the nature of the healthcare system. The luxury travel business could be it could launch very, very quickly once it gets traction. And so that sort of balances with the long-term healthcare project. And writing a book I can do on the side, if I devote 1 or 2 hours a week to make sure it's ticking over.
Yeah.
And I read somewhere, I can't remember where the source was, but there was a guy who was very committed to maybe it was Rich Dad, Poor Dad. It was the 70-30-20 rule, where you devote 70% of your time on one project, 30% on your secondary one, 10% on your tertiary one. And the reasoning behind that was because you don't know which one is going to take off first.
Yeah.
So that's it in a nutshell.
Yeah.
But I know that a lot of the advice I've seen from people who have made it in terms of, especially when you're talking about a passive income stream, is really put all your energy into one. If it doesn't work, switch and go into another one. Yeah. So I don't know. I think there's a different way. I don't think that's necessarily always the best option.
Yeah. Fantastic question, and I commend you for taking on all those projects and having passion for them. That sounds great. It's a funny one, and my answer is not going to reflect my own actions, because I know that I should focus and not spread myself across so many things. And almost every day when I listen to different audios, I hear the same message. And so I would say to you, I would say the 70-20-10 is a good principle to follow. Yeah, it is. And if you're managing to stick to that, and that's working, I don't think you should change that. But in terms of focus, I would say the fewer things you have fewer plates you have spinning, the better. And you say the healthcare is going to be more of a slow burner. So I would say, which of those projects is going to bring in the cash fastest? And it sounds to me from your explanation that the travel business is most likely to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. So I came to that sort of conclusion myself, but I have noticed that whenever there's multiple things on the go, you just can't, they do cross over sometimes. It can be very, very well managed, but they do cross over, and then you end up compromising progress in one for another. If anyone else has any thoughts on that, I'd be really interested to hear it.
Let us know what you think. There's no right or wrong necessarily. It's everyone's opinion is completely valid. So also just say to that, Gareth, what's your longer term goal? Because you're working a full-time job as well. Are you looking at trying to exit that job as soon as you can replace the income, or are you quite happy in the work and you just want to add additional income sources on top of that as well?
Yeah, I'm in a big career shift, and I want to move away from the work I'm doing. I don't want to be dependent on that income stream. And ideally, I think the more I think about it, the more I want to get into replacing that income with a passive income stream. The interesting thing about that is, because of the healthcare project, for example, it's a long burn. I'm really enthusiastic to be working on that, but it's not going to generate an income anytime soon. But I don't want to give that up in order to focus my energies on building a passive income.
Sure.
If you see what I mean. So there's a bit of a trade-off between a project I really feel is important and I need to work on versus generating passive income from other projects. But yeah, I very, very, very keen to build passive income streams. Yeah,
as are many of us, I'm sure. The healthcare project there, is that something that you say it's a long burner? Is that just through the nature of the processes that need to take place naturally, or is it because of a restraint from the amount of time you can put into it, or a restraint from the amount of funds that you can inject into it? Could you speed that process up if you had more time focused or more funds focused?
A big part of it's actually the way the healthcare system's set up. So if you're trying to get technology into the NHS, it's a slow process. You can speed it up, sure, but there's a limit to how fast it can move.
Well, that almost sounds.
So it's definitely going to be a slow burner in terms of generating income on that one. I'm absolutely certain. And then there's, I do have a passive income stream from property, and I'd like to expand that because I have a little bit of experience being a landlord. So the question is, do you go sort of burn all the bridges and stop all the projects that aren't going to generate income right away? Or do you keep everything going simultaneously? It's a really tricky There's no easy answer to that, but it's very tricky because there's a lot of potential in the healthcare project in terms of the long term. There's huge potential.
Sure. By the nature of the speed at which that healthcare project is going, is that currently your 20% or your 10% focus? Okay.
That's probably my 20%. And the travel business has made it up to the 70% spot.
Business, yeah.
The top spot.
Yeah. I mean, James and Hayley, they're also agreeing the 70-20-10 model, allocating your time accordingly. I think you're doing a good thing there. And as long as you're not taking on anything extra, I think that's a model that's been proven to work. As long as you're consistent and you are, what's the other word I'm looking for? Disciplined, as long as you say, okay, this is the time when I'm working on this project and I don't get distracted by doing bits and pieces for the other projects, then I don't see any reason why everything can't move along at the right pace. And you can obviously reassess that after 6 months. And if you need to change things, then you can do so.
Okay, that's cool. It's good to it's just good to sort of sense check it and see what other people think.
Rajesh.
All right, that's great. Cheers. I'll jump before and let someone else jump in.
Suggested a book which is Brian Tracy's Eat That Frog. Don't know if you've heard of that book or you've read that. It's called Eat.
What's
That
it called
Frog.
again? Sorry. Eat the frog. Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks very much, Rajesh.
There's actually an ebook version available. I saw someone post it in the Wealth Builders Facebook group. So I'll see if I can find the link and repost that in our Escape the Rat Race group for everyone as well. Because that's a great suggestion. Thank you, Roger.
Cool.
Thanks, Gareth.
Right.
Appreciate that. Take care. Cool, great. Appreciate that, Gareth, for jumping in and sharing with everyone. And please, the space is open. We can take 3 people at any time. So the idea here is that this is a mastermind that we all share and we all contribute. And I'm really happy with all the comments we've got coming in here. Let me just double check. I haven't missed any. Thanks, guys, for everything that you're posting. James and Hayley, again, block times for each in your diary and calendar and do not allow yourself or anyone else to deviate from those. Indeed. Easier said than done, but we have to be disciplined, Discipline will win at the end of the day. Those who are undisciplined, it's going to be a long, tough journey. And it's very hard. I've made the switch myself from employed to self-employed, working from home every day this year. And you really, really got to be disciplined to get the stuff done, get the important stuff done, focus on the income generating activities for the day rather than all these other little things that distract you. Emails being the worst of all. What's everyone else saying? Calvin, you're saying, can I have a link to that podcast you talked about? There you go. As if by magic. Thanks, James. Lewis Howe's podcast. Yeah, definitely check that out. That guy seems to be just getting bigger and bigger every day. He's really smashing it. And there was a course, actually, Calvin, I don't know if you are a member of the Escape the Rat Race group on Facebook. If you're not, let me know. Try and add me. Search for my name. I'll type my name here. So search for me on Facebook, and I'm in London. You should see a picture of my face and just friend me, drop me a message, remind me if you would like me to add you into the group, and I will do that. And then I'm going to post up lots of links to help. Raj, will we be doing an online Amazon seller training, coaching and mentoring? Well, we had a few people asking us. Laura, who's just walked in the door here with her dinner, my girlfriend, she's been running Amazon as a business, and so are James and Haley, and lots of our members actually have started up the Amazon business this year, and everyone seems to be doing really well. It really is a fantastic opportunity. So yeah, there's some demand, and Laura absolutely knows the business inside out, and we could put something together. Yeah, we could do maybe like a starter date. I know a lot of people kind of just want to know, okay, well, you know, how do I get started, and how do I look for products, and, you know, just those kind of basic questions if you haven't done it before. But really important that you get someone who's already been through the process, they've made the mistakes, and they've tried out the different ways of doing it, and they can just tell you straight away, okay, this is the best way to do it, this is the quickest way, this is the, you know, the most cost-effective way. So yes, the answer, we can do that. If there's demand, we can put that together, no problem. And we'll see how quickly we can do that. And James and Haley, thank you for the offer. Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of people within the group who are doing really well. Any challenges with you guys, James, Haley? You know, is there anything that's holding you back at the moment from you know, from being, you know, even bigger and greater? Well, let's hear from you direct. Okay, so give you some props whilst you're just connecting. Hey, James. Hey, I can't hear your voice there, James. We'll just let James have a tinker with the audio settings. Don't worry, we had the same issue with Zahir last night, and we all came good. So whilst we're just waiting for James just to get those sound settings, any other questions? You know, let us know what business ideas you're all working on. You know, Calvin, you've said you're looking at an online trading course. That's fantastic. And James, don't worry, it's all good. And Rajesh, you're in property, I know that, and it'd be good to hear what everyone else is up to. We've heard from Gareth, obviously he's got a few things he's working on, which sound like they're going really well. So you know, now's the time to really be clear about what idea you're going to take into 2016. Now's the time to start looking at creating a business plan. We talked about the journey, the roadmap. Darren, we've got you, and Motivate and Go. Welcome. Michael, welcome. Here we go. So, props. Whoa, nice yellow screen there from Motivate and Go. Not sure what's going on there. So just wait for that to fix itself up. Tell you what, I'm just gonna let's try that again. Motivate and Go. If you want to just try and call in again, I'm not sure. I haven't seen that kind of coloured screen before, so maybe that's just a little bug in the system. Let's have another go. Hey, Darren, having trouble with a duplicate Twitter account. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, no worries. No worries. Sounds like you fixed that. So I thought that was going to be a question about having two accounts on Twitter and how do you cancel one out, but that's cool. That's just for logging into the Blab, I take it. So all right, Web Explorer. Let's get you back in with some sound. Hello, James.
Is it working now?
Yes, it is.
Yay! Technology. Who'd have believed?
What did you do to fix that?
I pulled these headphones out and hope for the best.
Seems good. Cool. How are you? How are you this fine evening?
Very good, mate. I'm really excited to be here. This is I've never used Blab before. I was a bit concerned when it said, "Will you allow us to post on your Twitter feed and follow people on your behalf and stuff?" And I was a bit like, "Oh, really?" But all these Silicon Valley startups, they're all coming from a good place, aren't they? So what's the worst that can happen?
I think it's pretty safe. I've not seen any crazy postings without me knowing about it. So We've
popped up at the bottom of my screen and said, "Would you like to notify your followers that you're on air?" So I think it's stuff like that rather than sponsorship messages or anything like that. But I just thought on the Amazon thing, I'd just come on and quickly say that if anyone is at the point of reordering stock, regardless of what your manufacturer has told you, allow yourself 10 to 15 weeks to restock your product, because ours promised us faithfully that after the first run was done and after the print plate and all that sort of stuff for the product we're making, it'd be a lot quicker to make the next one. 6 weeks. They promised us faithfully 6 weeks, and we were out of stock for 15 weeks. And we had gone from number 7 in our category. We were selling 15 to 20 units a day, making anything between sort of, depending on the promotions we were running, anything between sort of $13 and $18 profit per unit. So we make about $400 or $500 a day. We were doing all right.
Nice.
And now we're pushing treacle back up a hill to get back to where we were, just because we felt it was our fault for running out in the first place. So I don't hold them responsible for that, but they did say they'd get us back in stock a lot quicker than they did. So
have you got the stock back now, or are you still waiting?
Yeah, so it came back in stock what's the 18th? Yeah, so it came out literally a month ago today, actually. We tweaked the packaging as well. That's the other thing I'd say. If you're looking at restocking, just don't necessarily reorder the same thing. Have a look and see if there's any other options. So we went from our product was in a box, quite a fancy box with a die cut, and it's quite a heavyweight box as well. And we've worked out by putting it into a poly bag instead, we're making another $4 per unit profit, just because of the box, the size, the shipping, the storage, because we were 1 centimetre above Amazon's minimum or maximum storage size. So that's worth bearing in mind. But the other thing for people who are doing the course and for people who have got to a certain point, just do it. You know, you can do the spreadsheets till the cows come home. You can always find, and sometimes good enough is good enough. Yeah. And if you've done your due diligence, if you're not overexposing yourself to too much risk, just get in and do it, because you'll learn so much from doing the first product. Yeah. It's unbelievable. The stuff that we've learned. I mean, you know, my business partner actually works for Philips, and his job is basically to get Philips products to the top of Amazon. So in theory, we could have done all of this without the training, but we wouldn't have really.
Yeah.
There's in the background captured on Blab. You're on Blab.
You're live to the world. No, that's really good advice, James. And especially you've got to be aware if you're ordering from China, you know, they've got their new year in February, haven't they? So that really puts a spanner in the works. If you need to restock around that period, you're going to be waiting extra long time as well.
They shut down as well. China shuts down. It was unbelievable. They shut down for 3.5 weeks. And I was thinking, well, this is the world's biggest superpower. They're not really going to shut down, are they? I've never had any dealings with them before. But they did. And you cannot get hold of them. You will not get an email for 3.5 weeks. Yeah. And last time round, so on our first run of stock, we missed the print deadline by 72 hours. So we actually pushed back. We were ready to launch we would have been ready to launch in about March, April time, but we ended up not getting our first run of stock until June, because literally the whole of China shuts down. Mm-hmm. So yeah, definitely be aware of that. Your calendar. And on the first run of stock as well, I would allow at least 2 weeks for going backwards and forwards, even at the point when you've got the negotiations, you've got the unit price and all that sort of stuff. Definitely allow yourself more time than you think you're going to need. Yeah, that's good. Maybe if anyone's considering Amazon, just pop any questions you have in the chat box whilst we've got James here, and we can answer those. Mo, I know you're trying to get in. I've accepted you, and it's just kind of doing the logging in type, thing. It doesn't seem to be fully connecting, and there's nothing I can do to change that, I'm afraid. All I can assume is it's maybe a weaker internet connection from your end. I know you've logged out and tried again, and it still doesn't seem to fully connect. So shall I jump off, and then if that might work?
I don't think so, to be honest. No, it's capable of having 4 people. And Mo, I don't know how you're calling in. Maybe your camera setting isn't flicked on. Maybe that's why it's not actually showing your face. I'm just guessing. don't know if you're on your phone or you're on computer. It could be a camera setting thing. Although we can't hear you either, so I'm not too sure, mate, I'm afraid. So if anyone else wants to jump on, please do. Mo's having a darn good effort here anyway at getting on, and I hope you do. And Raj, good man. Okay, cool, we're rocking now. So this is a really good mastermind here. We've got everyone. Hey Raj, how you doing?
I'm fine. I'm trying to. Do you want to know? It says, "Do you want to notify your followers that you're on out?" Yeah, that's fine.
It's up to you. That'll just send a tweet out on your Twitter.
Can you see me? All right. Go on.
Yeah, that's better. Yeah, more focused now. Cool.
My background's very dark. I don't understand.
Yeah, that's all good.
Hi, James. Can you see me all right?
Cool. For anyone who's on the call here who hasn't been along to one of our actual physical meetups in London, then we meet up on the first Wednesday of every month, and we have 40 or 50 people come together, and we have different guest speakers every month who talk about their own journey, and they've created their own businesses, achieved financial freedom. Maybe it's been through property, maybe it's through trading. It could be through the Amazon business or other online business, social media. We always try and get speakers who can share their story, and they always hang around afterwards, so everyone can ask some questions and learn. And if you are in London and you haven't been, absolutely come and join the meetup group. I'll put the address. In fact, let me just copy and paste it. It'll be quicker. I think most people probably are already members. That's how you would have discovered about this mastermind, but put it up there for you anyway. D-Rock, welcome. Pop us a message, D-Rock. Let us know who you are. If you have any questions, challenges. We're already 40 minutes into the Blab tonight, so I don't intend on taking it over an hour, unless obviously we've got loads of questions coming. So if you've got questions, but Raj, we've got you. So tell us what you're up to, Raj, and if you've got any nuggets of advice for anyone.
Yeah, sorry, I've been a bit unwell for the past week or so. I'm just now recovered, but I just wanted to reiterate what Christian said. I met Christian at the summer event, and I was quite impressed with Christian, the way that he's obviously his background and everything, and the fact that obviously he left his job last year. Then I went along to the last meetup where he had John Ketley and I can't remember the Canadian guy's name. I should remember his name. Scott, was it? Scott? Yeah. Very impressed with the speakers. Also, unlike some, you go to some of these, although I'm not knocking them, you go to some of these big events and there's loads of people there and you seem lost, you can't really network. Christian's event is good though, in a way that you can network. It's very informal. It's not formal at all. It's very informal. You can ask questions. You've got people there who've already escaped the rat race, like Christian himself. The last speaker was amazing, actually, John Ketley of the Sales Master Guild. And like you said, Christian, you're going to be doing a one-day intensive mindset one, which I hope you do repeat next year, because unfortunately I won't be able to come to that one. But if you do one next year, I will definitely come for that. What also is good is that you learn and share the knowledge. At the moment, I'm doing a few things, but basically I'm concentrating on property, like Christian says. One of the challenges I have, Christian, it's good you ask, is that when you go into estate agents, like sourcing properties, and you say to them, look, have you got anything on the books and everything, and then they sort of like look at you like you're from another planet, and they look at you and you're serious about sourcing properties for investors. And then when you leave, they sort of like look at your business card and then they sort of like dispose of it. So this is one of the challenges I've had. I'd find it easier talking on the phone, but I would like to approach more estate agents within my area and within the surrounding areas where I live in Sutton. So I don't know if you've got any tips or advice because obviously you do property as well. that you could, because this is one of the challenges I've had. It's not too bad when you go into networking other events with property investors, but when you're trying to meet estate agents and trying to find a sort of like a building a rapport sort of thing, you know, some sort of common ground. It's like there's like a gatekeeper, and you have to get and that's one of the things that I have. I sort of like, although I've been told I communicate quite well, I sort of like find myself thinking, what should I say next? Whereas I should be just naturally talking as a conversation like you and me would have when we meet up. So that's one of the challenges I've had recently. I don't know if anyone else has had the same situation, but this is one of the challenges I've had. I've phoned a few estate agents, gone to see the estate agents in my local area and said, look, I source property for investors, and it's trying to get them on your side in a sort of like a professional manner.
Yeah. Okay. And roughly how many kind of meetings would you have with that agent, or are you talking about kind of one meeting, going in, telling them, and then it kind of doesn't really go anywhere from then?
Well, this is what I'm finding. I don't know if I should just, if it doesn't work at the first meeting, should I keep going back, and maybe not every week, but every couple of weeks, and then just sort of like see that they get used to my face? Or should I say to myself, okay, well, it's not working here? Because when they say no, does that mean no, not right now, or no, we're not going to deal with you? And this is the difficulty I find sometimes when talking to estate agents. It's not too bad on the phone, because when you're on the phone, you can say to them, oh, look, I'm looking for this particular property. But this is what I find when I go into the estate agents itself. What I've tried to do is I've been to the local area in Sutton, but I'm going to try a few other places to practice on until I sort of like, you know, build a relationship sort of thing. Oh, hi, Mo.
Well done, Mo. You've made it. Can't hear you, Mo, so just maybe check the audio. Raj, just want to answer that. So it's not really a strategy that I is one of my main strategies, working with agents, but I've experienced other people who do use this method. And it'd be great to hear from anyone else who's on the call here who's got an opinion or some advice or some experience with this. But just to throw in a few things there, I definitely think it's a process. So it's rapport building, maybe not even mentioning the investor thing to start with. Yeah. So maybe go to a few viewings and just get to know the people. Yeah. It's all about asking questions, yeah? So you want to build the rapport relatively quickly. You want to get to know about you know, the people who are showing you, so the estate agents and stuff. And then I would maybe after the second or third meeting, then start looking at dropping some questions, you know, with regards to, okay, you know, these properties are okay, but have you got anything on the books with some, you know, a bit of margin, or, you know, the standard questions? Is there anything that's just sitting around for a little while that's struggling to sell? And you're not going straight in the front door and sitting there like loads of other people do. And, you know, have you got any BMV deals? I mean, that's just a no-no. Kind of just go straight in and do that. You're not probably going to win many friends by just going in like that. My advice would be, do a couple of viewings, you know, and then just, you know, have a quiet word with them and let them know, look, you know, I've got the ability to move quickly without the need for a mortgage. Sometimes even when you go in saying I'm a cash buyer, you know, they're like, oh, okay, yeah, I've heard, you know, 50 a day on a Saturday. You know, so maybe another way to phrase that is, no, I'm able to buy quickly without the need for a mortgage. And you've got to think, at the end of the day, the estate agent just wants to put money in their pocket, yeah? And the way they do that is by selling houses. So you've got to make sure and reassure them that you're gonna make sure that they get their commission, yeah? And the quicker they can get their commission, the better. And start finding out, like, at what stage of the month are they at in terms of getting their bonuses, because they obviously have, you know, additional kind of bonuses. They can close a certain number of deals. So if it's close to the end of the month, you might have a little bit more leverage. But again, if you haven't built up that rapport and you've got the ability to kind of be a bit jokey maybe with them, and say, look, what can we do here to, to kind of hit your target? And, they might just pull something from, under the desk that, is one of those reserved for their investors. And maybe, I think you've just got to have a bit of luck with timing as well. The thing is, when they do deliver a deal to you, then you need to be able to deliver your side of the bargain. So there's no point going in there saying, look, what discounts have you got? And I'm a cash buyer. And then they say, okay, there you go. And then, you don't deliver on your promise, and you take ages, and then you don't have the funds in place, and you mess them about, because then that's a waste of time for everyone.
Yeah, your credibility goes, yeah. All right, that's great. Thanks, Christian. I appreciate that. I'll definitely take that on board. Okay.
And let me just have a look, see if anyone else has popped any. Darren's saying you used to have a lot of dealings with agents, and I recommend just keep your face fresh in their mind, offer them a coffee, and they'll become friendly after a while. Yeah. Or a beer. Yeah. Get drunk. So good advice there, Darren. And James agreeing, don't mention the investor word from the go, just build that rapport. A one-page brochure face to face. Yeah, I think it's gently approached, rather than just going in, I'm the investor, what have you got? Give me a massive discount. That's just not gonna work, I don't think. So I hope that helps.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome. Are you sticking around for a bit, or?
Yeah. If you need me to stay around, I can stay. I can listen.
How are you getting on, man? Oh, we still can't hear you. Oh, maybe James can assist, because James had a similar problem when he first came on, and I know he pulled out his headphones. But I'm assuming you haven't got any headphones plugged in, Mo. No. And okay. James says if you have any external speakers attached, that might be the issue. None of them either. Okay. All right. If anyone else got any suggestions, please pop.
Mo, are you on a tablet or are you on a laptop?
Laptop.
Because it should work. There must be an internal microphone.
And James says if it's a Mac, click Alt and then the speaker symbol. So you look, the power of the mastermind here is working together to get Mo loud and clear. Okay, maybe Mo and James just want to have a look at the chat there and see if you guys can work that out between you. I'm just going to scroll back up, see if I've missed any questions whilst I was chatting to Rajesh there. Yeah, Calvin, sorry, getting back to you. You're in Stratford, that's cool. So you should definitely, I'm not sure if you've been to a meeting. If you haven't, you should definitely come along. We're actually having some Christmas drinks on the 2nd of December, which is a Wednesday night in a couple of weeks, and in Charing Cross. So if you go to the meetup link that I sent, you request to become a member, then you'll see all the details of that. It's free, and you'll get to meet loads of other people, talk about trading and all of that. And you've said you're just starting on escaping a rat race. So it's good to get info from people who have the experience and the wisdom. Absolutely. Your journey is going to be so much faster if you find out what it is that you want to do, and then you find someone who's successfully done that already. They've already walked down that path, and they're happy to share that knowledge and advice with you. That's what this group is all about. Absolutely. So so that's good. Thanks for that, Calvin. How's Mo getting on?
I've asked him if he's got an internal microphone. So he might be, no internal microphone?
No.
Because usually in a laptop, it usually has an internal microphone. And if you switch it on, they should be able to hear it.
Okay, well, we'll keep working on that one. Definitely. So Ben, did I miss you on jumping on? Looks like we've got you on the call, Ben. So Ben, if you wanna jump in, we've got one spare place here. Be wicked to hey Ben. If you want to jump in maybe for a couple of minutes and just introduce yourself to everyone. I know you've got you've got your own business, and we met a couple of weeks ago at the Escape the Rat Race meetup. It was really good to meet you and chat with you. It'd be good. Jump on if. Cool. Just gonna kill the music. Mo's. Here we go. Here's Ben. Oh, seems to have lost Raj there. Mo's connecting. Hello, Ben. Hey, Ben. Mo's going to get jealous now because you've got sound.
Although now I've come on here, you guys have sort of halved in volume, so I'm not sure what that's about.
We can hear you loud and clear. So
that's really weird, actually. I can barely hear you now.
Oh wow, we've got all sorts of gremlins going on. So Ben, whilst you play around with that, do you just want to let everyone know what you do?
Yeah, sure. So I digital marketing, really direct marketing, mainly in financial services. So we have a business that works with insurance brokers and helps them really help lead generation. So over the last 4 years, we've put over 50 million worth of opportunities in front of them. So it's quite large size sort of scale business, really.
Brilliant.
But moving forwards, looking to diversify the business, take it in sort of different direction, and I think it'd be great to chat with some guys in the group and see really what other people are doing and just bounce ideas, boss each other. So that's really what I'm interested in. Just it's quite tough because I live in a fairly small town, which is it's about an hour from London. And there's not many. There's like 2 entrepreneurs that are my age in my town. That's it.
I'm back.
So looking forward to meeting, and obviously met quite a few people at the last event. Looking forward to the Christmas drinks and meeting up some new people as well.
Yeah, cool. Well, we've got about 45 booked for the Christmas drinks, and it's going to be a lot of fun. There'll be some new people who weren't at the last event, and a few familiar faces. So. Yeah, it's going to be really good. And I was speaking to one of my mentors, Kevin Whelan, today from Wealth Builders. And hopefully Kevin's going to come along as well. And if you haven't met Kevin, definitely a guy you want to be speaking to. He's really mastered the art of wealth building in a big way. So very, very experienced. So that would be a good networking opportunity. Ben, you mentioned obviously about lead generation.
Yeah.
A lot of people kind of interested in stuff like Facebook ads and Facebook advertising. Is that part of what you do?
Yeah, absolutely. Just launched a new campaign today, actually.
Any bits of advice for someone who's maybe kind of, just wanting to start experimenting with Facebook advertising in terms of budgets or, just a couple of tips for them?
Yeah, it's you have to, with all these things, you have to look at the strategy as a whole. I know it's difficult to just fire some tips, but I suppose the main things are you really need to understand your value proposition as a company. So that's what your clients or prospects would, what you do for them, how they perceive you, how they feel and the way they interact with you, so you can get your messaging consistent. And then it's about really working out who your target market is and getting your ads to speak to that person. And it's all about effectively targeting that. It depends on your product. I wouldn't necessarily say that Facebook is the best way to go. There are other options. So if you're selling something which you take pay-per-click, for example, Google Ads, if you've got someone who's already knows that they want the product, they're that little bit further down the sales buying chain already. So if you have a product which has an active market, then I'd probably look to start there. But what you're looking to do is create a system whereby your landing pages, your copy, your messaging, it's all working, it's getting the right messages across. And once you've proven that, then you can launch it across other media.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah, I've got one more for you, Ben.
Yeah.
When you are putting together a Facebook advertising campaign and you're creating your audience, and it gives you like, you know, how many people this could reach. So it says like 500,000 people or a million people. What's the optimum number of people that you should have there? Is there an optimum?
In terms of your reach?
Yeah, when you're putting together your criteria, so you're doing age groups, the interests, and it's saying this advert will appear to 400,000 people or a million. I was always, because I used to do this at the record company, and I was always told that 200 to 300,000 was a good segment, and if it said a million, that's way too much. But what's your opinion?
Well, I would tend to start small. And there's quite a good few things you can do with Facebook, like custom audiences. So if you already have a client list, you can actually market to them directly via Facebook if their emails match. That's a good place to start. And you can build an audience which has similar characteristics to your existing client base, which is quite good. To be honest, on the actual Facebook side, I do personally very little. Okay. So it's part of what my company does, but I don't really have an in-depth experience myself on it. So maybe it's worth another time getting one of the other guys along you can answer probably that in more detail as to the total reach and stuff.
Ben.
Yeah. Do they know that you're trying to escape the rat race, or?
Sorry, mate, I didn't quite catch that.
I said, do they know that you're trying to escape the rat race?
Well, yeah, I told everyone, and I was like, sack your boss, but that's kind of hard when you're your own boss. So.
Yeah, you might not want to introduce them to that idea. They might turn around and go, "You're fired."
Ben, I got a quick question. Would you do LinkedIn? Use LinkedIn.
We've got some questions that I just want to touch on there from James. James is saying...
Sorry, I just didn't catch that. You said link...
Yeah, just a couple of questions here, Ben, that James has asked. A lot of people asking, I think, in relation to property, how you can generate leads online.
Yeah, I actually run a campaign, a landlord campaign at the moment. Now this is for inheritance tax planning. Okay. So my client works with landlords with large property portfolios in order to save them buckets on their inheritance tax liabilities, basically. He's using a mixture at the moment of LinkedIn and Facebook, and both are working quite well.
Right.
It says, what's it say? Website of choice for targeting landlords.
Yeah.
We also use email, so he's got quite a large email list of sort of 60,000 landlords in the UK. Mm-hmm. So that's pretty good. But he exhibits as well. So he's doing in fact, I'm going up tomorrow. I don't know if anyone else is going to it's a free event, the London Property Investment Show. It's at the Olympia tomorrow.
Okay. I'm not. Anyone else?
Which is where I'm heading. So my client, a chap called Tony Gimple, Planned Succession, he's speaking there at 11:10. So I'll be there listening to his talk.
Cool.
So he'll have a stand there, and he'll also use that to meet people, take their information, etc., and then follow up with them via email.
Well, it looks like James and Rajesh are going, so you guys should meet up for a coffee.
Yeah, definitely. So Rajesh, you're going there tomorrow. Brilliant. So yeah, let's
yeah, I'm going.
Let's take that offline and arrange something.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, nice one.
Good.
I was going to say, another thing about landlords is that we're having quite a lot of success working with other markets. So IFAs. So getting a lot of business through IFAs. There's 70% of the business is coming through IFAs. So
amazing.
that's basically building partnerships whereby we demonstrate my client's expertise to the IFAs, who basically look after a ton of high net worth clients with large property portfolios, and they can't really handle the IHT, inheritance tax planning part, because they don't have the knowledge. So they recommend my client, and it's just a case of constantly putting messages in front of that IFA market so that they know, learn and understand that Tony is the complete expert in that arena, in that space.
Yeah. That's something I was actually with John Ketley today, one of my mentors, and he always says about becoming famous for what you do in your space, and that's pretty much what you've just summed up there. You want to really make yourself so visible and seen as the expert in your area. So people, when they think of something that needs doing, you're the first person that comes to mind. Sounds like you're doing a good job with that. Yeah. Excellent stuff. I know there's so many people within the Rat Race group that are interested in online marketing, and we had our biggest fan, he was talking about using social media to drive an online business.
Did you say Paul Mahoney?
Yeah. Paul O'Mahony.
Is he Nova Financial?
No.
Or am I thinking someone?
He's online business like Twitter King. He drives a lot of traffic online through online businesses, and we had a lot of people there. So maybe this is something we can carry on the conversation, Ben. And see if there's some value that we can share with the rest of the group to help everyone along, and good to get everyone's comments.
Yeah, sure.
So Roger,
I had an idea last night which I will be sharing with some people at the next meeting, because I really want to take it to the next level, but I don't have the skills at all to do it. And it kept me up all night, so I haven't actually slept since Monday night. So this is coming up to 9 o'clock. So I think 37 hours now.
Like that. Wow.
That's sleep. So if I'm looking a little cranky, that's why.
Wow, must be an exciting idea.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, yeah, keep that one under wraps then, and speak to the relevant people to give you the advice. Yeah, good stuff. Love it. Any other messages here? So okay, guys, we've hit 9 o'clock. The intention was to not really go any longer than an hour. So whilst it would be great to keep chatting, I want to keep these masterminds focused. We've just got 2 new people joining, Gerald and Richard. Welcome. And James is saying apprentice o'clock. So I'm guessing that means the apprentice is starting. Only just got a TV after 3 years of not having one, and it's still not actually plugged in and working. So I have no idea if the apprentice is on or not, but it sounds like it is. So guys, if you've got any more questions, we're only doing this online monthly masterminds. So it's monthly, it's once a month, and then we do our physical meetup once a month. So don't wait another 4 weeks. If there's something you need help with, if you need a connection to someone to help you with your business, you need some advice, anything, just pop it in the chat box. If I don't see anything in the next few minutes, then we're probably going to wrap it up, I reckon. Thanks, James. Awesome mastermind. Good. What do you guys think of Blab, by the way? Are we liking this? Is it working well for everyone? I'm going to try and get Mo back in one more time, see if he's fixed his sound problem. I
missed the start. You guys seem to be talking about property when I came on.
Covered a few things. Mo.
Can you hear me now, guys?
Woo! We can.
Yeah, I had to stick in a microphone, so don't worry about it.
Good stuff. All right, cool, Mo. Well, look, that's good timing, because I was just saying I was going to kind of close it off pretty soon.
Great timing.
Now that we've got you, let us know what you're up to. I met you a couple of weeks ago for the first time at an event. You've been a member for a long time, but It was great to see you at the event.
Yeah. I run a blog called Motivate and Go. It's been running for the last 4 months now. Just wanted to put some good material out there to inspire people, motivational posters, articles, and I run an online eBay business on the side. That's going pretty well as well. Bumped into Marissa, the other girl. She was one of the Amazon girls. So I've been trying to implement that, but I'm still trying to get my head around that, because eBay to me has more flexibility. Just to give you an idea, people don't know what eBay is. eBay is just a online format where you can sell pretty much anything for anything. So if you've got anything from old sneakers to new laptops, whatever it is, you can sell it. Amazon is the cleaned up version of eBay. You can't sell certain things, and you can sell really high quality things, so branded stuff. So I'm trying to move into that market. So that's what I've been up to. Just been carrying on with the blogging for the side. That's just more of a hobby, but it keeps me up to speed, and I get more followers, and hence hopefully I can funnel that into more sales. That's what I've been up to. I'm just trying to find other ways to escape the rat race, as you say.
Yeah, that's cool. How long have you been on this journey for, would you say, Mo?
I would say the best part of a year. Last year, this time, I just said I need to do something. This is just not working. My background is recruitment. I've been in recruitment for the past 4 years. I scaled back, and I started working as an administrator for now, just to spend a bit more time with my wife and my baby, and just trying to find the balance of that. And I started the eBay business. I started the blogging. Big Jim Rohn fan, Anthony Robbins. A lot of self-development. And then I come across your group, and rightly said, you need a mastermind group. You will get there quicker than anyone else with a group of people.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. A nice, lovely comment there from James. He says that the blog looks awesome, Mo.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I haven't checked it yet. I guess if I click on your link here, I'm going to check it as soon as we're finished. Sounds really cool. Have you done that yourself? Is that a WordPress?
It was a WordPress. Me and my wife just kind of set it up. She has better grammar than me, so I write stuff, she cleans it up. I'm more heavily focused on the graphical side. I do all the kind of uplifting, motivational. There's a Pinterest, there's a Twitter account, there's a Facebook account. Trying to build that up, and just trying to get some positive messages out there to everybody that's trying to escape the rat race.
Yeah, nice one. What's the address? Ben's asking.
It's www.motivateandgo.com.
Motivate and Go. So I'm just going to pop that in there for everyone, and go and check that out on Twitter and everywhere else, and join and follow motivateandgo.com. It's come out a bit funny. I hope that's right.
A-N-D.
A-N-D.
Not the and, just A-N-D.com.
Okay, everyone. So that's it. Thanks, James. Thank you. Cool. Yeah, I like the name. Definitely good. Well, awesome. Next year, I think, is going to be a big year. And we've got a really nice sized group now. We're gaining traction, and we're attracting some good speakers to the group. And, the more feedback I get from you guys as to what we all want, and the paths that we're all most interested in, and any suggestions for any speakers, because amongst us all, we must be absorbing so much content between us all. Incredible. I'm setting up the website soon, actually, for Escape the Rat Race, and the idea there is we're going to have some resources. So we're going to have recommended podcasts and any books and audios that people are really enjoying. So everyone's kind of keeping each other up to date with all the cool stuff that's out there, and what everyone else is up to as well. It's great to find out about your blog, Mo, and and what everyone else is doing.
Well, I need to get back on the content side. So I haven't had time to publish a lot of content. So I'm just trying to get back onto that. The problem with when you do two things at the same time, I had the same problem as you, focus. So one time I'm stuck on eBay, or I'm sourcing, or I'm trying to get back on to build up the followers. Anybody that's out there that's doing a blog at the moment, I would say, obviously have your content in your head in advance. Do as research as you can. Don't try and make it the best blog. It can be as small as 200 words, 300 words. And also get on the Pinterest, get on the Twitter, join groups like Escape the Rat Race, build up your brand, and go from there, and absorb everything, as you said, Christian.
Yeah, no, great advice. Great advice. And do you use any plugins that automatically kind of post all that stuff, or are you just...
Yes, there is a thing called Buffer. Buffer's my favorite. I found this out about last year. So Buffer, buffer.com. You can link multiple social media accounts under one account, and you can post them according to your time slot. So you don't even have to be there. You can post 2 weeks in advance. So you get all the content, put them up in Systematic, and it posts it for you. So imagine that you've got 12 different social media accounts. You will not have the time to post 3 to 4 times a day. So Buffer cuts a lot of that out.
Excellent. I use Buffer myself. It's absolutely brilliant. If you guys have got Twitter accounts and you're looking to build up your followers, I use Buffer in combination with another one called Crowdfire.
Crowdfire, okay.
What Crowdfire does, it's actually an app that I've got on my... I did post it up there. It's disappeared. It's an app that I use on my phone, and it allows you to look at other similar accounts. So if you're doing motivational, then you look at other big motivational accounts.
Yeah, exactly.
It will show you all of the followers for that other account. So you can then follow their followers, because you know that they're going to be interested in that type of content. It allows you to build up your following like really quickly. So check that out.
Advice I tell a lot of people with their own blogs, as you do, Christian, is always look at analytics. Analytics is a fancy word of just looking in how many people are visiting your site, where they're coming from, who they are. That gives you a better idea of how to market with them. The last couple of days, I've noticed I've got more female people, also females, shall I say, coming to my website. So I had to kind of adjust to that, appeal to that. And females tend to have a more positive outlook, and that's just a fact, they do. And the Pinterest shows that the majority of people using Pinterest are female.
Okay. Yeah. Awesome. Great. Thank you, Mo. That's been brilliant. Some real little nuggets that have come out there, which I'm sure some people will be checking out if they haven't already done so. Anything else? What's your biggest challenge at the moment? Is it the focus, or
the focus? Like you, just the focus. I need to just kind of nail down things that I want to do, because there's so many things I want to do at the same time, and it's frustrating, and I don't want to do that. But it's just focus. Just get as much as I can done in a reasonable amount of time.
Yeah, definitely. Hopefully the meetups every month. It's a 4-week gap. But if we come together and we share some ideas and we hear some new things from new people, and then we put those into practice, even if there's one thing that you pick up from an event, you implement that and you put it into practice. That compounds over 12 months, and it's amazing when you're surrounded. You just have that energy, and it's tough because we all go through the periods where we just think, oh God, it's not working, and
yeah, definitely,
it's not going anywhere. But that's when the true entrepreneur just keeps on going. It was funny last night. I was trying to recall a quote, and it took me about 3 times to get it right. So I'm going to pause and think before I say it. Winners never quit, and quitters never win.
Yeah, that's the one. That's
okay.
The one.
So, when times are hard, just think, well, look,
Well, no, I definitely agree with you. I would say to a lot of people out there, weight is a very sensitive issue. Like health is a very sensitive issue. I would say to people out there, if you really want to improve your mental outlook in life, first place I would focus is your health. Now, there are people out there who have serious medical conditions, and I understand that can't be fixed. But for the majority of us, there are little things that we can fix. Me, 4 or 5 months ago, I was about 102 kilograms, and now I've dropped down to, I think it was 85, and it took a lot of hard work. So the best way to get your confidence up, to get your thinking right, just get your health up, is just to focus simple things like health. What you eating, what are you putting in your body, how many times a week are you going for a walk or run? I know it sounds stupid, but people just brush it to the side and like, yes, we all want wealth, we all want happiness, we all want everything, but we only get one body.
Yeah.
So take care of it and it will take care of everything else.
Yeah. That's fine advice, and I think we should leave it on that note. And someone has suggested Mo should speak at the Rat Race event. Have you've done some public speaking before?
I've done a few talks for companies and stuff, like, just in terms of the company, but nothing like this now. Yeah,
cool. Well, let's have a chat about that if that's something of interest, because you've got some great stuff to share. So, yeah. Well, look forward to seeing you. Are you coming along on the 2nd? So
I'll definitely be there. I'm a teetotaler, so I don't know what you're going to offer me.
Well, whatever soft drinks the bar provides you, you have your choice.
Definitely. Well, it was a pleasure, and I'll definitely be up there.
Okay, excellent. Raj, did you have a final word to say?
Yeah, I just had a few things to say. Quite impressed with Mo's story. I've had some health issues myself. I'm type 1 diabetic, and what you talk about health is true. The other thing is, it's like you said, I've got a saying, like, you said focus, and I probably mentioned this at the last event, which means follow one course until successful. There's another one that, because I listen to a lot of personal development myself. One of the fathers of self-development, Jim Rohn, said, income really exceeds personal development. So it may take a lucky jump sometimes, but in order for you to grow, you need to develop yourself, which is why I was quite impressed with the speakers at Christian's event. And like I said, it's growing. I mean, Christian's only been doing it for a year, and the amount of speakers that he's got is amazing. And the good thing is it's informal. It's not a pitch fest. Everyone gets to know each other. You get to ask questions, and I hope it continues for the next however many years. I mean, it's even the title sounds good, Escape the Rat Race, because there's a saying, even if you win the rat race, you're still a rat.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard that. That was by the actress Lily Tomlin said that. If you still win the rat race, you're still a rat. And a lot of people are stuck on this hamster wheel. I think one thing that my health condition taught me is it woke me up. I couldn't go by the same path I did. I was going to continue like every 95% of the population. I don't know if you've earlier, I know there's a lot of questions, but one of the other things that I was wanting to do, Christian, maybe next year, and maybe I could, maybe you, and if you're coming tomorrow, Mo, or one time at the next event, I'm looking at doing coaching myself, because I get a lot of people coming up to me and saying, Rajesh, how do you do this and how do you do that? And through the personal development, sometimes I got the answers, or I ask questions. Like you said, Christian, it's about asking the right questions. Mm-hmm. So I believe that could be another sort of like an income stream. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm quite. I mean, the webinar was very good. I mean, the Blab sometimes obviously it cuts off, but I still think it's a lot better than Skype. Skype is just. I think this is more of an evolved method of communication, online. And like you said, you can get 3 or 4 people on here, which is more than you can do on Skype and Google Hangouts. So, Christian, I think you should continue with this format.
Okay.
I think that's really good because we had one with Dan Walderschmidt. I think you did a Blab as well, and there weren't very many problems on there. Sometimes you get technical issues, but that's just part of life. But yeah, carry on, and I mean, I hope to see both of you on the second.
Definitely.
Yeah, wicked.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Right.
Yeah, that's very good. Thank you. Just you mentioned there about Escape the Rat Race. Just whilst I've got everyone there, I'm throwing it in the air at the moment because I've had a few people suggest a logo change. So some people think we've outgrown, the original logo, and I got that logo designed on Fiverr.com. So it was an amazing value, and it served us well this year. And I'd still like it, but what do people think? Do we need to upgrade and get something a bit slicker? Now that we're growing, or
it's worth a try. So why not?
I think you just need to tinker with it. You don't need to totally change it. That's my opinion, because it sort of like represents what. I mean, you could have, although Escape the Rat Race, you could have the rat in a hamster wheel or something like that.
Keep the wheel, because that's the centerpiece.
That's the centerpiece.
People see that and they know exactly what it means before they even read it.
Okay.
That's I agree with Mo in that case, because it's you know what it stands for straight away. You know exactly what it stands for. Because you got some logos in some companies, and they're so abstract, you don't actually know what the company represents. But in this case, your brand identity or your logo, people know exactly. They say, Escape the Rat Race, yes, this is something I want to get involved with, and they see the logo. So I think you just need to update it a little bit. I wouldn't change it. It's rather like Coke in the 80s when they changed their formula and everyone just...
Oh, yeah.
I agree, Rajesh. I think it's a good logo because it portrays the personality of the group a little bit as well. The guys having a bit of fun in their hamster wheel. So I like the whole feel of it. So it's we're getting together, we're working hard, and we're going to break out, but we're going to have fun at the same time, which I think is what we all want to do. We don't want to be working really hard but not enjoying ourselves on the journey. Yeah. So maybe just working on that concept, and maybe do something else. But you've already built 750 members with this, so
yeah, well, that's it.
My question would be to you, Christian, is where you want to take it.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
If you want to change it into maybe a different type of group where perhaps providing a different level of service, maybe like a paid service, all sorts of options out there, then it might be worth looking at how the branding works. But as it is, I quite like it.
Cool.
I think so.
Maybe just get some alloys on the wheel and just stick it up.
Yeah, pimp the hamster wheel, sort of like,
Just stuck with it.
Yeah. And just one comment, what's it saying? It's good, but for an idea, you can make it look like the hamster wheel is falling apart while he runs. Okay. All right. Cool. Thanks for the input there. So, all right. Well, look, maybe I'll tinker, and we've got some options. I'll chuck them in the group, and we'll get everyone's feedback and see what we like. But that's good. Thank you very much, guys. Okay. Look, I think we've done another half an hour, so it's our second 1.5 hour blab, like in 2 days. So people are obviously liking the blab format, and I think we'll continue using this next month. I think it's gone pretty well tonight. So thank you for your input, guys. It's been really enjoyable. It's great to see you and connect outside of the monthly meeting. And I'm really glad that we've got this up and running. So have a great evening, everyone. And if you're not in the secret Facebook group and you would like to be, just send me a message, because that's where people are communicating every day. And I know I've just added you in, Ben. Mo, are you in the group?
I'm gonna go on it right now.
Cool. Okay. All right then.
Take a message in the Facebook group about the landlord event tomorrow. So if anyone wants to meet tomorrow, just replies to that, then we can sort something out tomorrow. Get a coffee, something like that would be great.
Excellent.
Cool.
Excellent. You guys
Brilliant.
enjoy tomorrow.
Thanks a lot. Good night.
All right. Thank you, Mo. Thanks, Ben. Thank you, everybody.